I know that's one of the models of the LGBT community,
Yes.
that movie. Did you aware that
No.
it was groundbreaking?
I had no idea. If I had known that at the time, I probably would have collapsed under the enormous responsibility of that. Because as it was, I felt like it was an enormous responsibility just to play someone who had lived and, you know, been murdered so brutally and whose life was taken short because of their choice of whom to love or their questioning of their own sexual identity. So no, I had no idea 15 years later how much people would still be talking about it being this groundbreaking, kind of illuminating moment to start conversation about something.
In the
So
role,
important.
you were recently honored, I'm told, at Outfest with the Trailblazer Award.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about that?
I felt honored beyond words. It's incredible when you get an opportunity where you grow as an artist. It's funny, that's the word that I keep going back to today. And yet you also become richer as a human being for it. You see life in a bigger way. It just blows open your own experience of how you see the world. And then to later go into a room and hear the person who is hosting the show say, you know, Hilary Swank is here, and when I was growing up and I was a teen and I was coming across questions about my own sexual identity, there was really nothing that I could look to, and then this movie, Boys Don't Cry, came out, and it saved my life. And to think that it had that type of impact, it's probably the most important movie I'll ever do, and it makes me emotional just to think that I could have even a small part in someone saying something like that.
We recently had a panel, in fact, it played a couple of days ago on Larry King Now that discussed transgender community in America. Nick Adams, the director of communications for GLAAD, joined me, and he had the following to say. Watch this clip. As discrimination falls in the area of gays, is it falling in the area of trans?
There's a long way to go. You can still be fired in 32 states simply for being transgender. So 60% of Americans currently live somewhere in the United States where if they simply say, I'm transgender, the boss can say you're fired and that's it. Transgender people still cannot openly serve in the military. So Don't Ask, Don't Tell was repealed, but that only applied to gay and lesbian people. So there are many, many challenges still facing transgender people in America today, and we have a really long way to go still in terms of that discrimination being lessened.
It's interesting because when I was doing the movie in 2000, there was discrimination. Transgender people would say they were discriminated by gay and lesbians, that they would say, no, you can't march in our parade. We're doing this parade and it's only gay and lesbians. And they felt like they weren't even invited into that community, and they were segregated. So I think that there's been steps in that way since 2000, but I felt, it was news to me that they would feel like, you know.
Everything's changing so fast, gay marriage and like. Do you think it's changing fast for transgenders or not?
No, as your guest said, I think that it's been a long and hard road for equality in every area, but for gay, lesbians, and now transgendered. I was the spokesperson for the gay, lesbian, transgendered, and questioning youth at the Hedrick Martin Institute in New York City for 10 years after I did Boys Don't Cry. And I got to sit with these youth and hang out with them in a community, in an area where they had a safe place to go after school. And all of them told me, all of them, 100% of them told me that every single day they were heckled or, emotionally or physically abused in New York City. In New York City, the most diverse city in the world. So, you know, that was maybe 10 years ago. But no, I think we've taken steps forward and a step back and steps forward, but we do have a long road, I think, for that.
Watch new episodes of Larry King Now, Monday through Thursday, on demand on Hulu and Aura.tv.